Hello, friends. So here I am with a copy of my new book, Site Please, which I had talked about in my previous video. And as you can see, it pretty much sums up the rush hour scene in Mumbai, rush hour in general, and also the famous or infamous Mumbai local are very important characters in the book. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I will be reading out a small passage from the book which deals with the process, if you will, of getting onto a local train in rush hour in Mumbai. I've left links where you can buy this book, either hard or the Kindle version. So you'll find the links in the description to the video. So here we go. Shailesh rushed to the staircase to get to platform number 2. He hoped the fast train hadn't already departed. He looked at the indicators and they confirmed that it was yet to arrive, but barely a minute away. He shot up the stairs like a rocket headed for the stars. A young man and a young woman were drifting across the breadth of the staircase as they held each other's hands. It was a romantic enough sight, but it alarmed Shailesh and he yelled, "Sight, please!" as he approached. The dude scowled as he turned inward towards his romantic interest to make way for Shailesh. Shailesh had no time for explanations nor apologies. He reached the top of the stairs, got to the one taking him to platform number 2, and started the descent. The train was already at the other end of the platform and about to march in, but he had got this now. He could make it to the platform before the train came to a stop. He had done this many times before and would surely do it again. And then, just at that moment, an army of fish-selling women began their climb up the stairs, 3 of them shoulder to shoulder. There would be no asking them to side, please. He quickly hedged to the left corner of the staircase and continued his sprint. God, how he wished he could have been Jackie Chan from Rush Hour and just fly over the heads of those fish ladies to get to the platform. He made it to the platform, but there was yet work to do. The first compartment was reserved for ladies, and the second one was, well, second class. He could get into that one as a last resort, but his first preference would be to make it to the third compartment and get into the first class section. By now, the train had arrived, and the usual bout of organized chaos had been unleashed as people jostled to either get in or get out. More of the former. This was rush hour, and Mulund wasn't the biggest magnet for workers, but the flow was still two-way, and the platform wasn't nearly big enough to accommodate all this movement. Thinking quickly, Shailesh decided to get into the second compartment. After all, second class was only slightly more crowded than first class. He hoped though, nah, one look and his hopes were dashed. The Bhajan Mandali was very much in attendance. There was just a pause as the esteemed singer helped himself to a few sips of water to preserve his golden throat. He would soon go forth and unleash with percussionists in consort. On board Mumbai's local trains, especially in the second class compartments, every inch of space was precious. A fourth seat was created in seating for 3. People stood in the space between 2 opposing rows of seats. The corner row offering seating for 7 commuters usually seated at least 8, sometimes 9. Every inch of space was bitterly contested and optimally utilized, except the space reserved for the Bhajan Mandali. These esteemed musicians were given all the comfort they needed to be able to freely practice their trade and regale their fellow commuters. Shailesh dreaded the journey even as the train had only just started to ease out of the station. He knew he would have a splitting headache from enduring this entertainment by the time he got down at Kurla. He had no choice. He couldn't have afforded to miss this train to be in office on time. The train had only one halt en route, Ghatkopar, but he hoped it would not resort to that which fast trains plying on the Mumbai suburban rail network were infamous for, halts between stations. There was a traffic jam of sorts on the railway tracks and up in the skies along the airport runway. These just happened to be more organized and disciplined jams, unlike the sheer chaos on the roads. With the trains running with only 3 minutes of headway between each other, it took very little to cause minor delays. But the Mumbai commuter always planned his commute cut to cut, organizing a schedule that required a precision that the city couldn't always live up to, in fact, frequently didn't live up to. And so delays that could hardly be considered extraordinary would still be enough to foil Shailesh's masterful plan to reach office on time. He was fortunate again. The train only stopped at Ghatkopar and then whistled past Vidyavihar. He moved towards the doorway on the right hand side of the compartment. He appreciated this aspect of Kulla station if nothing else. Fast trains bound for CSMT always stopped at platform number 6 and slow trains at platform number 4. There would be no last minute change of platform necessitating a stampede to the other doorway. Small mercies these were when you considered what awaited once you got down at Kurla. So, what did happen when Shailesh got down at Kurla station? Well, to find out, you will have to read the book. So, once again, as I said, you can find the link to buy the book in the description of the video. So, happy reading, and I will see you again soon with another excerpt.